Okay, hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to Easy Markets Daily Pitch International with me, Darius. Today's the 29th of September, 2023. So, welcome, everyone. Welcome to this Friday's morning session and the last trading day of this month. So, before we go further, as always, we look at the charts, the technicals, some fundamentals. But before we go further, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendations and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. Look, I'll disappear from that little left corner in there, and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so now then, guys, this Friday is not going as smoothly as I wish I would like to go. I don't know if you're hearing some sounds here on the side. We have a little bit of a renovation happening, so in our office. So yeah, apologies if the sound is going to be a little bit intervening, but I think it'll be fine. Another thing here, as I understood, something's happening with TradingView because basically it's kind of not showing if you click on the live streams. I think that their live streams page, there we go, we're back on track because it was down a little bit before, so now it seems to be back on track. Okay, good to know. Right, look, let's jump into the charts. Oh, by the way, before jumping into the charts, Easy Markets website, you can always check us out there. If you have any questions, you can always drop us a message, and we'll be happy to kind of, help you out. So if you have any questions, you can always, like I said, reach out to us. Now, let's jump into the charts. Nikkei 225. Okay, look, in general, yesterday, the indices did recover a little bit. So that's great. Now, the thing is, like yesterday, yes, some positivity kicked in, but I'll get to US ones in a bit together with the European indices. Nikkei 225, yes, it did correct back up here. As you can see, it pushed higher again. Look, I talked about this and I said to you that as long as we stay below the 108 EMA, I'm going to continue targeting the downside. So in a way, maybe this correction to the upside, or should this move to the upside, was seen as more of a corrective move to the upside. So again, we should not exclude that. And in general, we did get some data today from Japan as well. So we did get the Tokyo core and headline CPI figures. So the core one came out lower. And both came out lower. Okay. Unemployment was a bit of a problem because, again, it ticked up a little bit. Actually, no. Okay, honestly, the data here is all over the place. Honestly, this Japanese data is like everywhere. It's either higher or lower, blah, blah, blah. Look, the unemployment rate came out the same as previous at 2.7. The expectation was for a lower one, and that's why, it came out higher than the forecast. So yeah, industrial production at 0. So basically an improvement. So it's flat 0. Why an improvement? Because the previous one was at minus 1.8. The forecast was minus 0.8, and it came out at 0. So that's great. Industrial production forecast for 1 month ahead, 5.8. So they're expecting for that one to pick up. And retail sales year on year from Japan came out at 7%. Okay, that's good. Managing to beat the forecast. Look, we are getting this nice correction right now. So my question is actually, can it be sustained? Because look, the fact that we did get pushed higher, I think that's also coming from the fact that oil declined a little bit. I'll get to that in a bit. Yes, I think that markets are kind of maybe they're trying to go into that holiday season, holiday period, where we could see that rally before, like going all the way towards like Christmas and New Year. But of course, don't get me wrong, the problem here always remains the same, that if you see it, everybody else sees it too. So don't be thinking that you're kind of somehow ahead of the market, because no, the market is ahead of you all the time. But yeah, look, with the Nikkei 225 here, from the technical perspective, I am still carefully leaning to the downside, and I get it. We had some corrections here, but I'm actually at the moment looking at this technical picture. If we remain below the 100-day EMA and below this downside line, then yes, I'll continue targeting the downside. I'll aim for the 31,240 zone right here, and then I'll take it from there. In terms of the upside, I need to see a pop above not only above this steep downside line, but also a pop above the 50-day EMA, just to be a little bit more on the safe side. China 50 index. So there we go. Beautiful retracement back up. Look, I don't like it at this point because it's kind of all over the place. So I'll stick to, actually, there's not much even to say for me here because I'm sticking to the same idea. And in general, look, China's was closed today. But these are the futures, and you can see how the futures popped higher. So, but still, either way, in order for me to go higher, I need to see a push above the 12,721 territory. For the downside, a break of the subside line is required, which is drawn from the low of the 1st of June. ASX 200. So, okay, the bearish flag is not working yet because it seems like we are kind of respecting something else here. It could be like this descending triangle pattern, which, according to the TA rules, tends to break to the downside. Yes. However, a clear break here is required. Break below the 7,040 zone. So if we do get that, great. I will get more comfortable with the downside. In terms of the upside, look, we do have the 7,106 zone right here. But as you can see, it's providing strong resistance for now. That's the reason why I have this one here, and I talked about it yesterday. I said too that in order for me to consider slightly higher levels, I need to see a push back above the 7,106 zone right there, and then we'll just kind of take it from there. So yeah, long story short, looking at the picture here for now, although there is hope for the bulls, some confirmation breaks are still needed. And the same story for the bears. I mean, the downside scenario is not off the table. However, a confirmation break below this hurdle here, this territory, is required. So let's jump into the US market. So, beautiful hold up here near this territory, this 33,800. Yes, we violated it, but that's fine. Don't worry. That's part of the game in a way. Yeah, we violated it and we rebounded. So my question is, can we see a bit of a larger correction here to the upside? My favorite Fibonacci level is something that I like to apply here, and you can see that we are currently testing that 23.6% retracement on the Fibonacci. Perfect test. So look, I think that it's easier right now just to stick to actually Fibonacci's. So basically, I think that if you wanna go to the upside a little bit more, then a push above the this 33 or kind of 30. Let me just put this one 34,000 mark, somewhere around here would be required. So if we get that, or 33,000, actually 960, something around there. Yeah. Okay, look, let's put it this way. I think that the 34,000 mark is the better one to watch. So if we pop above it, yes, I will go a little bit higher. I'll aim for the 200-day EMA or this 38.2% retracement here on the Fibonacci. So good potential target. Let's wait and see. But again, that's my next target. That's my next aim here. So yeah, look, if we want to consider some higher levels, some lower levels, then a drop below this 33,800 territory would be required. So I want to say that, look, guys, today be careful because we do have some important data coming out from the U.S. Of course, the PCE number, something to keep in mind. The core, the headline, yes, PCE figures are coming out, so those are considered right now they're actually on the mixed side. So the core one is expected to go lower. The headline one is expected to go a little bit higher. The core one excludes energy prices and food prices. So that's why just to be a little bit more on the careful side right today. In general, I try whenever we have like important data like this, I try just not to kind of overcomplicate my life and I'm trying to switch off my like super awesome forecasting capabilities, which I probably don't have, to be honest. But look, I'm just trying to kind of have a cool head and in this market right now. And don't forget, today's the last day of trading this month in September. So basically, there could be surprises. We actually could see a nice blow up to the upside because of profit taking at the end of the month. Or maybe we had that yesterday. Maybe today we'll go further south. So that's why I have my levels in place, and that's why I have my targets and barriers which I need to see a break off first before considering the next short-term directional move. So now then, by the way, guys, I just wanted to actually first of all put good morning into the chat room. Good morning, everyone, as always. There we go. And I want to ask you a question, actually, because I can see that there's not a lot of people tuning in. I don't know if this is the trading view issue that I saw earlier, but now I think it's restored. But again, I just wanted to find out if you actually had like similar problems. Just if you can drop me something like a comment saying that, I mean, did you find the webinar easily, or did you have to go around and stuff like that? So just kind of, if you can let me know, that would be great. Doesn't matter if it's live session or the recorded session. If you're watching this as recorded session, just also kind of drop me a comment saying that if you had some issues today with TradingView in terms of, let's say, finding the webinar. So, please, guys, please. That would really help me. S&P 500. So, beautiful recovery here. Okay. Let me just adjust this very quickly. There we go. Look, we retraced back up. But look, I said to you before, I'm going to stick to the same game plan. A push above the 4,350 zone would be required initially. Then the 4,375 is something that I'm watching next. In terms of the downside, drop below the 200-day EMA here is required. If I get that, great. I will aim for the 4,262 territory right here, and then we'll just take it from there. So again, if we do drop below this, like I said, below this 200 EMA, my next target is this 4,262. Look, I don't have much to say here. Again, the same story as with Dow and in general with the news today. So we do have important data coming out. So check out the economic calendar on your side. So let me just jump into here. So today, there we go. So okay, so basically this is what I'm going to be watching today. We do have important data from Europe, but I'll get to that in a bit when I'll cover DAX. But yeah, US here, as I showed you, PCE price index numbers are coming out. So Chicago PMI as well is a little later on, a little bit about an hour and 15 minutes later. Michigan and some Michigan numbers, basically. Yeah, quarterly grain stocks, soy, wheat. So yeah, if you're trading wheat, and by the way, I'll get to wheat in a bit. And if you're trading those, corn, soy, or wheat, yeah, keep your eyes on the numbers today as well. Now, the S&P, actually, yeah, I don't have much to say anymore. I really don't, because that's the game plan. Look, in general, the downside scenario is not off the table yet. However, I need to see a drop back below the 200-day EMA in order to consider that one. But the upside, I need to see a push at least above the 4,350, but ideally 4,375. NASDAQ 100. So, beautiful rebound from this key area of support, the 14,600 and, well, let's put actually 600. Beautiful retracement. And I said to you yesterday that 14,955, that's what I'm looking at here for some upside. If we do break above it, then my next target is the 50-day EMA. And if that gets cleared, I'll aim for this downside line drawn from the high of the 19th of July. So yeah, that's the situation here. Okay, look, let's see. At the moment, I think it's a little bit of a difficult one. And to be honest, before the numbers are going to come out, I will just kind of stay neutral. I'll just observe the price action. But once the numbers start coming out, then I'll see what's happening. And then I might do something about it. But look, one little piece of a little advice, is, let's say, for example, if you have already a successful month, let's say you already did good and you made a certain percentage. Today's the last day of the month and surprises could happen. And sometimes logic can be very, very far away from the markets. And that's why I always suggest this, that if you're at the end of the month, just maybe, I don't know, if you already did good, you did a certain, percentage, then that's fine. Look, that's okay. You don't have to like capture every, opportunity. And even, let's say, although I get it, like it's very, like the data that's coming out today is very important, and we could see a lot of volatility. But if you somehow make a wrong decision, that volatility will play against you, and you'll just get very upset about the fact that that you missed on some opportunities, and missed on some opportunities. On the contrary, you didn't miss on an opportunity, but you screwed up your account at the end of the month, and then you'll make a first loss, and then you'll start like this revenge trading, right? Where you'll start to recover in order to bring the amount back to at least to the original one, and this is where psychology kicks in, and this is where you start losing, guys. So that's why I strongly recommend, if you already did a good month, honestly, just keep it. Don't rush into the market. Leave it for next month, for next week, and yes, then you could start fresh. That's a good one. Oh, okay. Your nickname, Parambratadata. There we go. Good morning. Good morning to you too. Happy to see you here. Very nice nickname. A little bit of a tongue twister, but very nice. Very nice. I like it. But yeah, coming back to the trading psychology, coming back to my lecturing you about what to do with the market, right? Sorry for that, guys. But in general, like I said, I just want you to be happy, not to overtrade. That's the most important. So look, if you think that you already did a good month, okay, look, I mean, if you did 1% like gain, that's fine. Look, it's okay. Or maybe if you're not comfortable with that, okay, you can gamble. The only thing is that you have to accept that you might lose everything, or even go into minus at the end of this month, and finish. I rather stay with the one after a month. I rather stay with 1% gain instead of, let's say, screwing up everything at the end of the month, and then just kind of having a negative month, on my balance. So yeah. But yeah. Looking at the picture here, so that's, like I said, that's my game plan here for the NASDAQ. For the upside, I need to see a pop up of the 14,955. For the downside, 14,600 territory here is required for me. A break off is required in order to go lower. So okay, I can see that there are more people tuning in, so hopefully everything's going well. Yep, guys, I earlier I said that there were some issues with trading. I think that it was not like refreshing the page. The streaming page was there were some bugs, but now I think it's all nice and good. So yeah, if you were having some issues, just let me know. Honestly, like drop me a message here in the chat room. Doesn't matter, live session or non-live. Just kind of let me know if there were some issues. If not, perfect. You know, that's fine. And it's just, like I said, for me personally to know. Daredevil Dave, good morning to you too. So, the German index, DAX. Okay, look, so we have some data this morning from Europe, right? I'll get to British data in a bit. But we did get some German numbers. Retail sales came out lower than the forecast, and actually lower than the previous. Okay. So it doesn't look very good, and so maybe for the market to kind of to recover, maybe we'll see how retail sales go in Germany, go towards towards New Year, towards Christmas, because maybe that could boost that a little bit. I'm thinking that we could see a little bit slightly higher levels, but I don't think that it's going to be as big because everybody's in saving mode right now. And I mean, we could get a little bit of a boost in those retail sales numbers, but I don't think that it's gonna go very well. Unemployment numbers are coming out from Germany today. Keep your eyes on those. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. And of course, EU inflation, the preliminary inflation numbers are coming out, so something for you to keep in mind. So yeah, that's before, like I said, before the US numbers jump in. But yeah, coming back to DAX, beautiful correction back up. So yesterday I talked about this, and I said to you that if we do stay below the 15,340 zone right here, I will get more comfortable with the downside. And we did initially drop, but you can see here it failed to stay. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not writing off the bears yet because we're still below my key barriers here. So we're still below this highlighted zone, the blue one, near the 15,500 zone, and we're still below the 200-day EMA. So yeah, look, there is a chance still for the bears to kick in. However, I will get comfortable with that scenario only if we do fall below the 15,340 territory right there. If I get that, if the body of the daily candle stays below that, yes, I will go further south. But at this point, we're seeing a nice little retracement, which is fine. Where's my beloved Fibonacci? Let's check out that. We did the 23.6, so we're now pushing higher. Look, Fibonacci or no Fibonacci, I will stick to my actually levels instead. So a few adjustments maybe have to be made here. Actually, okay, I don't want to get rid of this like this red-orange line here because I kind of like it still. But look, if we do pop above this downside line, we might as well pop also above the 200-day EMA. And if we stay above it, yep, I'll go to the upside a little bit, and then I'll aim for the 100 and the 50-day EMAs right here. But we need to clear the downside line first, so before going lower, or before going higher. So that's why I'm just taking a pause right now, and especially with the data that we're seeing today, the German numbers, the Eurozone flash CPIs, and of course then later on the PCE, the US PCEs. That's going to be, like I said, a day. It could be a day, a day. I mean, the day from with all capital letters in terms of trading. So in terms of volatility. So, but again, let's not over speculate too much. Let's wait and see. The FTSE 100. So there we go. So far, so good. I talked about this yesterday. I said to you, look, I mean, I'm keeping an eye on this upside line. And look, since the beginning of this week, actually, I was talking about this. And I was saying that I'm going to keep an eye on this upside line in order to go higher. And because, again, if we do retrace, we could test this upside line. Tick. And now we're seeing that little retracement back up, which is part of my deal here, which I wanted to kind of stick to. And yeah, look, the 7,700 level is something that I'm keeping a close eye on. But if that gets cleared, I'll get a little bit more comfortable with some higher levels. So, long story short, if you're looking for some lower levels, guys, a break of this territory, a break of this upside line is required. Now, I do have this level, the 7,611, but maybe this is not the most exciting level, actually. Maybe we can actually keep our eyes on the 7,600 level, just that one. If that's the case, then yeah, great. More sellers could join in here if we do break this upside line and the 7,600 zone. So yeah, guys, look, I can see there's a lot of people tuning in, so that's great. I hope everybody's having a wonderful start of Friday. And I don't know, you probably missed what I was talking about in the beginning. I said to everybody that, look, today's Friday, today's the end of the month. We do have a bunch of data coming out. So if you already did good for this month, honestly, if you don't want to screw it over, then leave it. Because again, you know how it goes. You have been trading for quite a while, and you know yourselves. I mean, but look, if you have a proven strategy, then if it's working, okay. And if you're willing to go for a little bit of a gamble, that's fine. It's okay as long as the risk is managed correctly. But if you're struggling a little bit, that if you have at least a one doubt somewhere, then just don't go. If you already did a good month this month, so just just leave this day, wait for the numbers to come out, see the market reaction, and keep it for next week. We'll have the continuation of that reaction, I think, on Monday or Tuesday even. So just kind of, and especially Monday will be a new month, and we could see some craziness. So yeah, just kind of keep that in mind. Oh, by the way, out of curiosity, I don't know if you know. I mean, I hope you've calculated it. But so at the end of this month already, are you up or are you down? Basically, can you just drop me a comment in the box there in the live chat? Are you up and down? If you're, let's say, and there's no shame. Let's say if you're down, just also tell me how much, and if you're up, also tell me how much. In general, no point of like exaggerating your numbers or something, or not saying the real one, because it doesn't really matter. Because look, we're all in this together. We also make mistakes, we all make losses, and we all make profits. So just kind of, it's part of the deal. Just if you can drop me something into the live chat, I'm just curious to know. And also for people who are going to be watching this as a recorded session, also drop me, how did your month end? Or maybe if you're still going to trade today, you can wait until late night and then just drop me a comment in there under this video, and then yeah, it'll be very interesting to see. So US dollar, there we go, beautiful retracement back down, and there we go, we did fall back below the 105.87 territory, but we're still above this upside line. So there's there's still potential for some higher levels, and if we do climb back above this 105.87, by the way, this is the previous highest point of this year. We did create a new high for this year, so that's fine. Let me just mark it here, the 106.54. That's the new high for this year. Now my question is, can we get a rebound from this upside line drawn from the low of the 18th of July? Now, don't get me wrong, this upside line is a little bit on the tentative side, because maybe it's this way, it has to be drawn, maybe it's that way. So yeah, at the moment I'm keeping it this way. I want to see if this is going to hold or not, but But still, yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on this for now. And 105.44, this is what I'm looking at in order to consider some lower levels. Okay, my voice keeps on going lower right now. I can see that. Yeah, just bear with me one moment. Yes, the beauty of running a webinar early in the morning, because your voice is still somewhere asleep. But okay, let's start. Let's let's start the voice honestly again. So look, for me at the moment, at this point right now, looking at the dollar, I'm still cautiously bullish because yes, we're seeing that retracement, and it's quite a strong retracement, but we're still above some upside lines here and above some key barriers. But I think that logically speaking, if we do push back above this 105.87 territory, I will get more comfortable with the upside again. Now, jumping into gold, look at this. I mean, this has just been madness, but madness in a good way, because all my targets got reached. I'm happy, honestly. Like, I'm so happy. And 1858 territory. Look at this beauty. I talked about this yesterday, guys, with you, and I said to you that given that we've dropped below the lower side of this kind of falling wedge pattern, I said that if we clear it and we stay below it, my next target is the 1858. Boom. Honestly, like, this is great. Now what's next? Well, to be honest, I'm kind of leaning towards a bit of a retracement. And if this continues to slide and stays on the lower side. But look, anything can happen. We could still see some downside. So if you're looking for some lower levels, then drop below the 1858 territory is required. So look, the downside scenario, I have to say, is not off the table yet, because look, we are on a strong decline, and if you look at the weekly, yeah, I mean, this has been a very, very strong bearish week. Monthly candle as well. I mean, this is just, yeah, very, very strong move to the downside, but interesting, very, very interesting. Why I'm also, kind of, let's say, leaning a little bit more towards the upside, because if by any chance this pair somehow gets back above this this downside line, this lower side of the falling wedge, and stays here today, well, guess what? On a monthly chart, we'll get a nice, beautiful false breakout. And the same story on the weekly chart. We'll get a nice, beautiful false breakout. And maybe, just maybe, this could eventually end up being a falling wedge pattern, which, according to all the TA rules, could break to the upside later on. But for now, that's too early to say. It's just an idea, which I'm going to keep out there. But like I said, I'll consider higher levels if we do push back above this lower side of the falling wedge pattern. If we stay below it, okay, the downside scenario is not off the table, but still, I would prefer to see a drop below the 1858 territory first, and then go lower this way. Then my next target will be around here, this inside swing low, this 1835 zone, and after that, I have this other one. Let me just grab one of these lines. Yeah, you know, I'm going to put a new one. So this one right here, this one right there. So yeah, this is going to be my next one, the 1824, and then so on, of course. So yeah, that's my game plan for gold here. This arrow has to be this way. Yep. Let's see if that's going to play out. Daredevil Dave, margin level down to 93%, waiting for GBP to recover against the USD, hopefully today. Right, okay. Yeah, okay, so you're down like that. Oh, so you're basically, as I understood, you're running a floating loss right now, right? And you're trying to recover. Okay. In general, I would not I mean, is that like 93% that you're down right now? Is that what you're saying? If that's the case, then certainly that's, of course, that's a little bit bad, if I can say that way. I mean, if you were long GBPUSD, I'll jump into GBPUSD in a bit. But yeah, we'll see what we can do now. Let me just, I'll jump into GBPUSD in a bit. Silver, very quickly, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. After reaching the area near this upside line, we rebounded, pushing back up. So yeah, I think this area needs to go for the upside. Look, previously I talked about this 22.95. It's kind of still working, but look, I will aim for, I said to you before yesterday that if we do pop back above this 22.95 territory, I'll aim for the 200, the 50, and the 100-day EMAs. That's my simplistic approach here on silver. For the downside in the short run, a drop back below the 22.74 territory would be ideal. Platinum, just a quick update on that one. Beautiful, beautiful rebound, guys. Look at this. I talked about this yesterday. I've mentioned this. I said, look, keep your eyes on this highlighted zone. This is a very strong area of support. And if we do drop below it, then I'll aim for this downside line, the lower side of the falling channel. We rebounded from this hurdle instead and pushed higher. But look, I said to you before, I'll go to the upside if we break this steep downside line drawn from the high of the 1st of September. Oil is beautiful. We are seeing nice retracement. So yesterday we saw maybe something to do with stockpiles. I'm not sure. This is like, there's like conflicting kind of news about this, but maybe there's more stock and suddenly appearing. And yeah, that's where, you know, we are seeing a nice decline here. Look, we fell back below the 50% retracement here in the Fibonacci. I talked about this. And well, if I'm sticking to my game plan, and I think I need to, I said to you yesterday that a drop back below the 92.40 zone might actually attract a few more sellers into the game. Maybe we had a good run here. Maybe we should like take a break a little bit. Look, I'm just going to grab this trend line here. Look, we do have some options, and the first option here is maybe to see a rebound from this upside line drawn from the low the 24th of August. That would be quite interesting to see. However, if we do get that, okay, that's great, but I'll get more comfortable with the upside on a pushback above this 93.75 territory right here, which is also the 50% retracement on the Fibonacci, which I've drawn yesterday. So yeah, at this point, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the downside, but first I'm going to target this steep upside line. It's a little bit on the tentative side, don't get me wrong, but a steep upside line. And if that gets cleared, then yes, my next target is the 88 point, or actually the 88 zone in general. That's what I'm going to be aiming for, and then I'll take it from there. That's my simple approach here on oil. If you're not comfortable here with this, or let's say you missed something, honestly, leave it. It's the end of the month. Leave it for next month if you want to trade oil. Natural gas, there we go. One of my favorite ones, and there we go. We are approaching this upper bound of the range again. So my question, and everybody's question is, will we? Will we break? Will we break eventually? So first of all, this idea is working out. So I said to you that before, that if we do pop and stay above these EMAs, then yes, I will continue targeting the upside and aiming for that 200-day EMA. And look at this. I mean, we came closer to the 200-day EMA. We tested it, and now we're kind of, the question is, can we break that psychological 3 level? Well, I am not sure yet, because again, we have been ranging for quite a while, from around like what, the beginning of, or actually the mid-February here of this year. So my question is, I mean, are we not going to end up ranging for the whole year actually? That's a good one. Or maybe like half a year is enough. Now it's time to pop higher. Another thing, I mean, yes, I mean, we can speculate as much as we want. Some people might say that, oh, we're getting into the winter season, you know, and there could be some more, you know, action, more buying interest because it's winter and everybody needs gas and stuff like that. But okay, look, if we look at let's say 2022 October, like we were declining, and then we popped a little bit more in October. At the end of October, we traveled like higher until the end of November, and then we started selling off again. Historically, again, coming back to in the past year, so similar story. Well, not similar actually, but October, we did push a little bit to the upside, but then we started declining. So look, it is interesting. It could be quite interesting, but we just wait for that pop here above this barrier, and then we could do something about it. But at this point, I am just being very careful, and I am just observing some levels first. Now, wheat, very quickly on wheat, because I'm running out of time. I do still have some instruments to go through. I was talking about wheat. Look, I mean, we do have an interesting situation. We're getting a very, very nice squeeze here. Let me just get rid of something here. Just bear with me one moment. Yeah, that's the one. So there we go. So we are getting closer to, well, we already got closer to this lower side, or this key support zone near the 573 territory. I need that break. I need that break, and that's it, period. I need that break below this territory. I need to see the body of the daily candle staying below this in order to go lower, because this is quite interesting. For the upside, I need to see a break, and I need to see the body of the daily candle staying above this downside line in order to go higher. Bitcoin, let's jump into cryptos. Bitcoin, yeah, good activity. I said to you before that as long as we stay below the this 26,900 and like, let's put it this way, actually, what is this, 26,434, something like that. Yeah, if we stay below it, then yeah, I'll go to the downside. Well, we failed to stay below it, and I think that it's time to adjust this level, no longer needed. And I think for the downside now, I will look at this hurdle, this 25,980 zone. And yeah, then I'm going to look at some lower levels. But given the fact that we're now flirting with this downside line, and some other cryptos, which I'll jump into in a bit, are pushing to the upside. Yes, there is a good chance for Bitcoin to maybe make its way higher a little bit. So yep, but I need that pop. I need that break. Again, I need to see the body of the daily candle staying above that area, and also I would like to see the body of the daily candle staying above the 100-day EMA, because as you can see, recently it did provide strong resistance, and from there we've kind of failed and moved back down. So I do have my reasons still to consider the downside scenario, because again, maybe the third time will be the lucky one, but yeah, we still need that break. Bitcoin Cash. Beautiful. So far so good. We're still staying above this barrier. So yeah, I'm leaning towards the 249 zone and then the 259. The same analysis is valid. I'm not adding anything else. The downside scenario is still the same as well. A break of this upside line is required, which is drawn from the low of the 10th of June. Ethereum, this one popped nicely. Okay, that's good. And everything is working out according to the plan. I talked about this 1600 level. I said that if we do break above it, then yes, I'll go higher. Then my next target is the 1620 zone, which we cleared. And yes, we reached one of my targets, the 50-day EMA tick. My next target is the 100 and the 200-day EMA. I don't have a kind of a clear level. Maybe this one could be an interesting one, the 1668. So if we do clear that one, then yeah, this may potentially attract more buyers into the game, and we could target that 100 and the 200 days EMA, day EMA. So at this point, like I said, yes, I am keeping an eye on this barrier, this 50-day EMA. If we clear it, I'll go to the upside. AUDNZD, beautiful rebound from this lower side of the range. I talked about this for quite a while now, that we are in a range, and look at this beautiful thing. It popped higher. Oh, first of all, this arrow, I mean, this scenario has been completed now. I think I can draw this arrow here, this way. And, oh, by the way, look at this little false breakout. There we go. We tested this 1.0707 zone. That's great. Yeah. Okay. So, look, if you want to see some higher levels, as you can see, this 1.0779 is providing good, strong resistance. So in order to go higher, a pop above this barrier is required, and then we could aim for the EMAs. at this point, yes, at this point, I am just kind of playing exactly this way. Yes, we're just kind of drifting back down again, but look, we're in this little area right here within this bigger range. So I'll wait for the pop. I'll wait for the pop, and then I'll consider the next kind of short-term directional move. AUDJPY, beautiful pop here above this 95.86 zone. I spoke about this and I talked about this, and I said to you that if we do clear this territory and stay above it, my next target is the 96.83. I'm not going to add anything else. It's just that it's working out perfectly. And by the way, the reason why it's also popping is because the indices are moving to the upside. And as we know, AUDJPY is our kind of gauge, is our metrics for market sentiment. So it's like you can see that it's risk on, it's back. Risk on is back on. Yep, risk on is back on, and we are seeing a nice push towards that 96.83 territory. Or could we? Could we see that move? At least this is what I'm aiming for. But I'll aim for that territory as long as we remain above this 95.86 zone right here. My next target is the 96.83. For the downside, I'm waiting for a break of this upside line, and then I'm going to do something about it. NZDUSD popping nicely to the upside. Look at this beautiful thing. Honestly, I talked about this little triangle pattern. I was telling you guys to keep an eye on it, and I said to you that keep your eyes on these two trend lines, and a break of one could consider, we could open the door towards the next like higher or lower level respectively, of course. So in this case, we are popping above this downside line. We're breaking this 50-day EMA. My next target is the 100-day EMA. I think we're already going to reach it, but nevertheless, probably, if you've managed to capture this, I would say take your profits and just let it settle down a little bit, see what's going to happen today. Maybe somehow the US dollar explodes to the upside and we will see a nice strong move back down here on NZDUSD, basically creating a nice beautiful false breakout. But again, I'm not rushing into things. I'm just considering all possible scenarios. USDJPY, so yes, drifting to the downside here, and I think that yes, somebody is stepping in. However, maybe that's actually I'm talking about BOJ, but I don't think that's happening. I think that it's just the weakness of the dollar, and right now they kicked in. So look, I said it before and I'll say it again, as long as we stay above the 148.85, I'll continue targeting the upside, because I really want to see that 150 getting tested. But the market doesn't always do what I want it to do, so that means that maybe a drop below this 148.46 zone is needed in order to consider some lower levels, and then we could aim for that 147.50 or even maybe this 50-day EMA. USDCHF, beautiful move to the downside. Yes, so far so good. Look, I'm gonna stick to my game plan. I said to you that if we do drop and stay below the 0.9147-48 zone right here, I will consider maybe a bit of a larger correction to the downside. After reaching my 0.9222 territory, yes, we reversed back down. So this is a very strong area of resistance. I need to see a pop above that area in order to go higher. Look, at this point, we're getting a nice retracement. I want to put my Fibonacci's here. Let's see if this is the case. Yeah, so okay, we are, if we draw it this way, and let's say not this way, for instance, then if we draw it this way, then we'll see that we are already testing the 23.6. So we could see maybe a little bit of a rebound. But if we do draw it this way, then we can see that we still have room for a bit of more retracement. Actually, I like this one better. So yes, I'll keep an eye on that 23.6 first, which is roughly around the 0.9065 territory, and then I'll take it from there. US dollar against the Mexican peso, just a quick update. Yeah, so beautiful hold up here happened. So yesterday I talked about this, and I said to you that if we do push and stay above the 1770 territory, my next target is the 18 level. We did push, but we failed to stay above that hurdle here, and we're drifting to the downside. So now I think that, given that I've previously looked at this as a range, I think now I can steal this one and just put it right there. And yep, but now I can maybe consider a possible ascending triangle pattern, something like that. But to be honest, being me, I don't like to trade inside the patterns. I like to wait for the exit. So at this point, I'm waiting, playing the waiting game and just observing the price action. GBPUSD. So Daredevil Dave, GBPUSD. Look. The fact that we're climbing back above this highlighted territory, that's great. And I don't know where your break-even point is. I don't know. Hopefully, it's not somewhere near the, I don't know, like 1.28 zone, something like this here. But at this point, I am leaning a little bit more maybe to the upside, just because, just because we're still trading above this territory. However, as I already said to you, today we have the PCE. And if by any chance that like comes out strengthening the dollar, the US dollar, this could fall back down here and we could end up drifting lower. So just I would say be a little bit more on the careful side. Keep your eyes on this hurdle, this 1.2110. If that gets cleared, well, guess what? A forthcoming lower low will be confirmed. And this is from where I'm going to start my downside scenario, because in general, we're still on a on a move lower. We're still trending lower. But what we're seeing right now is a nice little correction to the upside. Again, the same story with the Fibonacci's. Let's see if we can actually add something here. Good potential targets here, but actually maybe this is somewhere. Look, I think now I'm just trying to find some sort of logic somewhere. Maybe actually putting this way, from the very, very short-term perspective, I think this is the better option. So the 23.6 was here near my level, near my important level of 1.2182. I think this is actually a better match. So I could still see a move towards the 61.8, which is roughly around here near the 1.23 zone. I think that this is how I need to draw it. Yeah, I think we're going to be ending. We're going to end up testing the 50% retracement here on the Fibonacci. This Fibonacci, by the way, is drawn from the high of the 19th of September to the low of the 27th of September. So yeah, I'm aiming for my 61.8, which is roughly around that 1.23 zone. So 1.23 zone becomes quite an interesting one, because again, that's the near the. This is near the kind of the lowest point of May, near that level. Not exactly, but near that level. So that's why I would say at the moment this is a good potential target, but don't be surprised, for example, that if we don't go all the way towards this downside line for for a larger correction. I think that we might get a hold up somewhere around here maybe, or maybe actually even the 50% retracement here. But look, I'll consider these higher levels up to 61.8 only as long as we stay above the 1.22 territory. That's it. If we somehow start falling back below it, well, maybe actually the downside scenario is not off the table. EURJPY, just a quick update here. So I talked about this when I said to you, keep your eyes on the lower side of the range. We need a break of that one first before getting comfortable with lower levels. Yes, we were testing this territory. Yes, we kind of gave a breakout here. We had a breakout, but it was a false breakout. So we're back in the range. And yep, this is what I keep on saying, guys. Be cautious. Wait for that one to kind of settle down a little bit. And yes, we broke the lower side of the range, but again, this is becoming even more interesting because we're back in the range. So, and that's kind of a little bit of a moment where maybe not everybody likes it. If you're a range trader, congratulations, this is something for you. But if you're not, then yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the bottom, and that's why we're playing the waiting game for now here. So look, I can see that there is potential for this one to move towards the upper side of the range here from the shorter term perspective, as long as we remain above the 50-day EMA. That's my game plan. EURUSD. So yes, beautiful move. Yes, beautiful move. Fibonacci just straight away, actually, without any adding. Yeah, so we have the 23.6 near this downside line. Okay, very nice target, very nice level. But look at this. Look at how well this played out yesterday, guys. I talked about this hurdle here, this 1.0483. I said to keep your eyes on it because maybe we'll have a nice little retracement back to the upside. And there we go. Boom. Honestly, I'm going to be proud about this one. We can clear up a few of these. I think this no longer needed. The lower one here can still stay. Okay. This level here, actually, we know we can keep it somewhere here. Basically, my next target right now is the 1.0617. I want to see if it's going to hold here or not. For the upside, like in order to consider, let's say, higher levels, much higher levels, like something like maybe 1.08 or 1.09, a break of this downside line is required. Simple as that. So at this point, I think that the scenario is still this, unfortunately for the bulls. But anything can change if, let's say, we start breaking this downside line. If we break that, great, I'll go to the upside. But at this point, we should not exclude the downside scenario yet. We could see a larger correction to the upside, but overall, the downside scenario is not off the table. I'm not saying that maybe we'll just end up going towards the like one level, the like parity with the dollar, but we have been already here. But there is, of course, a possibility always for that. But I think that maybe, ECB could intervene at some point. But let's wait and see. For now, like I said, that's my game plan. 1.0617, 1.0635 levels. These are I'm keeping an eye on here. If we hold below that, another decline here could be possible. So, guys, that's it for this session. I really, really thank you. A massive bow down for you for joining me this month, this week, and this day. Really appreciate your views, your likes, or should I say not likes, but your rocket ships in there, your comments, everything. So really, really thank you for that. As I said, let me know in the chat there how your month ended. Are you in profit or you're in loss? Doesn't matter. Honestly, you don't have to be ashamed. If you're in loss, doesn't matter. If you're 50% in loss, that's fine, because this is part of the game. The only thing is we're trying to get there. There are some rules that you need to go through first. I'm not going to mention that here yet, but in general, look, if you're going to stay consistent, everything will happen. First of all, don't forget to admit if you're wrong, you're wrong. This is something sometimes traders are afraid to admit. Don't forget, in general in life, don't forget to admit that you're wrong. We're always wrong. I'm wrong. I'm all the time wrong. Like probably half of the stuff that I just mentioned to you will be probably wrong. I don't know. The thing is that we're trying to apply some sort of logic. We're trying to apply some sort of reasoning and trying to kind of maybe squeeze something out of it. So yeah, guys, look, just like I said, let me know how your month ended in terms of P&L, in terms of percentage. I don't need the numbers. I don't need the amounts. I need just the percentage. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see. Like I said, after this video, you can leave a comment if you wish. But in general, thank you very much, guys. Well, like I said, the most important: stay safe, have your stop losses in place, risk only what you can afford. Don't overtrade, because today is the last day of the month and everything will be fine. I'll see you on Monday, 6 o'clock GMT time. Have a beautiful day and have a beautiful, even more beautiful week. And don't forget to relax. That's the most important in life. Relax. See you on Monday. Bye-bye. Hey there, thank you very much for watching this one till the end. I really appreciate that. So, like this video, we speculate your next mouse movement will be towards the subscribe button.